Welcome to Growing Your Team, a podcast designed for small business owners seeking to grow their company with the help of employees and contractors. Your time is limited, which means growing and leveraging teams is essential for business success. The Growing Your Team podcast is the place to learn tips and techniques designed to help you know when it's the right time to hire, how to select perfect fit team members, and how to maximize productivity while creating a positive work environment. Drawing from her 10-plus years of leadership and hiring experience, here is your host, Jamie Van Kuyk.
Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, we are talking about the Great Resignation, what it is, and what you can do about it. Now, if you follow any type of business news, you have probably seen headlines talking about this Great Resignation. And it might be happening within your own business or could happen soon. So let's jump right in with what is the Great Resignation. And this is employees leaving the workforce or leaving their current companies in great numbers. So for some companies, this looks like a large percentage of their employees leaving. And when you're a small business, even one employee can be a large percentage of your workforce. But why are people leaving? Why are they doing this? Why is it happening now that so many people are leaving their current employers? And the thing is, people leaving their current employers without necessarily having another job lined up to go to. So the reason this is happening is because the past year and a half, people have realized what is truly important in their lives. And you have so many people who put work first or just working to get a paycheck as number one priority in their life. And now they're realizing that that's not their number one priority. There are other things that are more important to them. In a lot of cases, it's family. And then for other people, it's themselves. And what I mean by that is they realize that the job they were in before overworked them, didn't suit their needs when it came to feeling fulfilled or being happy or reaching their goals. And now they're looking for something else to fill that work void. They know that where they are is not where they want to be long term. And for some people, this means going to a new job, a new opportunity. They've been looking for new opportunities and they find the position that fills what they need. So it gives them better work-life balance, a company that better matches their values or goals. They're leaving and going, taking those opportunities. But there's this other part of the workforce that's leaving with nothing lined up yet. And why are these people leaving? Because they realize that not working or not working for their current company is more important to them than continuing to collect a paycheck where they currently are. So this has actually happened to a number of my clients recently. Over the past 2 months, I've helped a number of clients put together hiring strategies where they've lost their team members because their team members are leaving the workforce or taking a step back from the workforce to really identify what it is that they want. And maybe this is happening to you too, or maybe you're afraid this is going to be happening to you. So let's talk a little bit more about what's going on here and what you can do about it. So first off, as I mentioned, I have a few clients where this has happened. And the good news is from those situations, none of those clients where we've gone through and created strategies to replace their team members, the team member left to go work someplace else. So that's good. They're not losing their team members because their team members are just so fed up, they don't want to work for them anymore and they've gone and found another job. What is happening is these team members are reflecting on their life and realizing that where they are is not where they want to be. There have been a few that have decided to retire early. There have been ones that decided that they want to stay home with family, stay home with their kids, stay home and help take care of elderly parents. There have been people that have decided to move, and the job that they were in doesn't allow for remote work. And there's also been one that is able to be financially sound for a little while and is taking the time to really focus on what they need and what they want out of a job, but they really know that the job that they're in is not the long-term fit for them. So that's the good news, that they're not leaving to go to a competitor or anything like that. They're really focusing on what's good for their life. And one of my clients had the conversation with their employee to really figure out, okay, is there anything I can do to save you being a part of this company, to make it so you won't leave? And after that conversation, this business owner came to me and said, no, them leaving is really what is right. And for me to do things to coerce them to stay on my payroll and stay as an employee for me is selfish. It's selfish because I don't want to let go of them, but them making this move is right for them. And that's one thing you have to realize right now is if you're having people turn in their notice because they're moving on and focusing on other things in their life where working for you does not fit in a lot of cases, trying to keep them long term is selfish. It's focusing on you and what you need as a business and not allowing them to focus on what they need as an individual, right? Because one of the things that I preach all the time is just because someone is good at what they do does not mean they're right for you. And this could very well mean that they could be amazing working for you and doing the work, but they're not right for you because your position, your company is not going to make them fulfilled in life. It's not going to make them happy, or working for you is going to restrict them from doing other things that they want to do. So just remember, sometimes people are going to leave you, and it's the right move for both you and them because you don't want people on your team long term who don't want to be there. So what can you do if all of a sudden this great resignation is hitting your business? What can you do? Well, the first thing is you need to talk to your team members who are leaving, who are turning in their notice, and find out why. Are they leaving to go to another company? If so, then you have a lot of work to do. There is a reason why people are leaving your company and going to work for somebody else. And I'm going to give you some tough love here. Chances are, if you have a lot of people that are leaving you to go work for someone else, it's because you need to change and improve your leadership or how you work with your team members within your business. I know. It's tough. You don't want to hear that you're screwing up. But if you have a lot of team members that are leaving your company to go work someplace else, there's something wrong in your business. And chances are it's something that if you change your behavior or mindset as the business owner, you could keep those employees or future employees, because chances are if they're already leaving you to go someplace else, you've lost them. You're not going to be able to mend that relationship. But I've seen it happen too many times that business owners refuse to change their behavior and are constantly running good quality team members out the door. But if your team members are leaving because they are going to become a work from home parent, or they're leaving because they have to move to someplace else to take care of family, or they're realizing that they want to go back to school, or something that's going to impact their life outside of work and your work no longer fits into what they need, there are some things that you can do here. One of the first things to do is find out, is there a way you can adjust the position that allows them to fulfill both? And this could be maybe adjusting it to a part-time position. Or if this was a position that there's parts of it that can be done remotely, allowing them to work remotely. even if it's a position that during the entire pandemic, because you have a small office, you were able to social distance, you kept them in the office, but now they're moving across the country, see if there's opportunity for them to still provide you support in a remote environment. Now, as a business owner, you have every right to say a position can't be done remote, and if they cannot be in the office, they cannot have the position. But that also means people have the right to say, I don't want this position because it cannot be done remotely. So know that, yes, you can say whatever you want, but then people have the choice to say, this isn't right for me. But just going back to offering them part-time or being able to do some of the position remote, those might not be ideal long-term solutions, but in a way, they can sometimes help you bridge the gap of what you need until you find someone else. Now, maybe your business has been growing, and by offering this person a part-time position, and maybe they've been working for you full-time before, you can then offer a full-time position to another team member and grow your staff by one. But seeing this person is now part-time and the other person you hire is going to be full-time, it's really like you're only adding half a team member to your business when it comes to pay-wise. You're offering half a position. So there's that opportunity to bring in another team member and get that additional support that you might need if your business is still growing without having to go automatically to another full-time position where you have your old team member go part-time and your new team member is going to be in that full-time position. Also, with having someone drop down to a part-time position, it could be just part-time, giving you the support that you need while you hire their replacement. Because let's be honest about things. Just because someone leaves your company doesn't mean that the work goes away. You still need someone doing the work. So by having them work for you part-time for a period of time while you're finding the replacement gives you some support. So not everything's falling on your shoulders or another team member's shoulders as you go through the hiring process. You get support as you identify this other team member to hire. And the same thing can be said for when someone goes and turns in their notice and they're not leaving for another opportunity. There isn't that hard date in the sand of when they need to be gone because they're going someplace else. Ask them to stay on for maybe a longer period of time or even in the office in a part-time capacity, something to give you support so that transition can be made so you can find the replacement and they can help with the training. Especially if they really enjoyed working for you, but leaving you is right for their life, they might want to help you and support you through this transition. So talk to them. Okay, so those are some of the things to do if people are leaving you. One, if they're leaving you in a good place because they really enjoyed working for you, but it's just not the right thing long term, they're not going to someone else, see how you can work with them to either keep them on part-time or keep them on in a capacity until you get their replacement. Two, if people are leaving you because they're constantly going someplace else, it means something's going on in your business that you need to change. And the truth is, 99% of the time when I'm working with small businesses, that thing that needs to change is you. So you need to open your eyes and take a hard look at yourself and how you are running your business and managing your team. If the Great Resignation is impacting you because people are going elsewhere to work. Okay, but now let's quickly talk about this isn't impacting you yet and you want to make sure that it doesn't. What can you do? Well, talk to your team. Whether it's in a group setting or on a one-on-one basis, talk to your team. You can be open and honest about things, saying, hey, there's these trends going on in the workplace where people are leaving because they're going elsewhere to work. They want to work from home. They want to be closer to family, support family in different ways than they're able to. And I want to make sure that you understand that I am here to support you as needed. And, if you are making any of these decisions, let's have conversations so we can see, is there opportunity for things to adjust and change and keep you on the team here? Is there things that I'm not aware of that's making you unhappy here that can be changed? Be proactive in these conversations, gather that feedback, and make changes that can be made so you can keep your team members. Because once a team member decides that they're leaving, getting them to stay can be extremely difficult. Even if you can convince them to stay right now, they might always have that thought of, but there's something else out there. Maybe I should have taken that other opportunity. Maybe I should do something. So you want to be proactive and get in front of that. You want to make sure that you're always continuing to have these conversations. How can you improve the work environment? How can you help your employees grow and improve? Maybe you'll realize that, let's say for an example, a team member's thinking that maybe they should leave because they're not seeing growth opportunities. But you know that your company's getting ready to adjust in a way or expand in a way that could give them a growth opportunity. Or maybe you never realized that they were interested in something, and now that you know that they're interested in something, you can give them a side project that helps them explore that talent or give them what they need so they can eventually grow into that position. So there's things that you can do to help keep your staff happy. Sometimes it's those things where you're always busy just going through the day-to-day that you never realize that the day-to-day could change. It can be improved. So sometimes you need that feedback from your employees to improve things that, one, save time. And when you save time, you can then do more with your team and also make people happier. And lastly, as we kind of talked about a little bit throughout this episode, you might realize that there's opportunities to create flexibility, allow team members to work remotely, allow team members to change up their hours, because then it gives them what they need to support themselves or their family or go back to school or whatever it is that they want to do outside the office and still be able to give you 100% of what you need in the office or in your company. So the Great Resignation is real. It's happening to some of my clients out there, and we're starting the process of finding their next great team member. Hey, it's either even on a personal side. My husband just started a new job this week because he was tired of his last company. He was done of the way they started treating their employees. So people are leaving their jobs for personal reasons and for professional reasons. And while you can't always stop people from leaving, there are things that you can do to possibly get some people to stay if you're proactive and make it so your business and your clients don't suffer greatly when you go and hire your next great team member.
And that wraps up this episode of the Growing Your Team podcast. Did you enjoy this episode? If so, and you have not done so yet, please subscribe to the Growing Your Team podcast so you can stay up to date on all the latest episodes and hear all the greatest tips from our guest experts on how you can grow your team so you can scale your business. And if you haven't done so yet, please consider leaving us a review. I would love to hear what you think of the podcast, and your review will help other people decide if this is the right podcast for them. So once again, thank you for listening, and be sure to subscribe and leave us a review.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Growing Your Team with your host, Jamie Van Kuyk. Be sure to subscribe and head on over to growingyourteam.com to connect, access the show notes, and discover more ways to hire and leverage your perfect fit team.